Hello guys, Arkanji here and welcome to my Unholy Deathknight Festerblight guide for 5.4. If you want to see my normal Unholy guide, then please click the screen now. Okay, so first off, you might be wondering, what is Festerblight? Well, Festerblight is a different rotation and almost spec entirely to the Unholy spec, and what you need to be doing on Festerblight is maximising the damage of your diseases. Now, to do this, you need to be using your diseases when you have the highest strength you can possibly have to maximise your damage. Now, diseases won't change with your strength, it'll only change when you reapply them with strength. For example, you have 1000 strength, you apply your diseases, you go up to 2000 strength, the diseases will still be doing the same damage when you had 1000 strength. But if you apply them when you have 2000 now, they'll be doing the damage that you have when you're 2000 strength. Now, if your strength goes down to say 500 now, the diseases will still be doing the same damage as you had when you had 2000 strength and won't be doing the damage when you had 500 strength. So you want to reapply them when you have the maximum amount of strength and keep them up for as long as possible. So what's different to the rotation? Well, you want to be keeping your diseases up for as long as possible once you get them up when you're on that maximum strength. So instead of using Scourge Strike as your main attack, you'll instead be using the slightly less damage Festering Strike, but the damage from your diseases will definitely make up for this. Now, Festering Strike you want to be using to get your timer up on your diseases so they don't drop off, but make sure you don't get the timer of your diseases above what the boss's remaining time of life is. Say you have 1 minute 30 left on your diseases, but only 1 minute 15 on the boss fight. That's 15 seconds that wasted there. So when you get to that point, when you get to say 115 on your diseases, 115 on the boss's health remaining, obviously you'll have to guess this most of the time or look at your record kills or such. But when you get to this, you want to instantly switch to your normal rotation, which you can find in my other guide. So what fights can you use Festerblight on? So the first wing of Siege of Orgrimmar, there are two bosses you can use it on. The first boss, Immersius, you cannot because he will die to you quick for it to make any impact whatsoever. The second boss, the Protectors, you can't, although you can in a way if you want to just do single target damage, but they will disappear, most of them, so you'll have to stay on your guard and keep spreading them at the most strength. But I would definitely not recommend using it on this fight because you want to spread your diseases and you'll probably get more damage out of the normal rotation, to be honest. Now for the third fight, Norrishen, it's very good. You want to get into those orbs early, and as soon as you're out, then you want to be using your Festerblight spec. Keep your diseases up on him at the maximum time. Do not spread them to the ads via the boss because they may reset them on the boss, and so you don't want to be doing that, of course. But you can just put them on the ads with your Plague Strike or something. Just don't ever Blood Boil or Pestilence, or you may ruin the whole thing. But you definitely you can use it on the Mercius. I mean, not on the Mercius, Norrishen, sorry. The fourth fight, Shar of Pride, you definitely can, because Shar of Pride you'll be on 99% of the time. Other times you'll be on the Reflections or the ad at the back, but just make sure you don't spread them from the boss onto the Reflections, or you may reset it on the boss. The same with the Norrishen fight, of course, but you can spread them around the big ad because he's so far away. Onto the second wing. Of course, you can't on Galacras. I don't need to explain that. You won't be on the boss until the last part of the fight. But on that last part of the fight, you can actually use Festerblight, although you want to be nuking him down as fast as possible, so it might not kick in time, depending on the DPS in your group. On the second fight, that will be Iron Juggernaut. You're going to be on the boss 100% of the time, so you definitely want to use Festerblight on there. Will be getting maximum damage out of it, so long as you put it up when you've got the most strength. Third fight, Dark Shamans, you don't want to be using it there because you're going to continuously spread your diseases around the bosses, and so you may be resetting it when it has maximum strength, so don't use it on that. And General Nazgrim, you can use it, but I wouldn't recommend it because you're not on the boss all the time. A lot of the time you're on the ads, but you can keep it up if you stay on the boss more and only switch for, say, the Shamans, but I wouldn't recommend it on General Nazgrim. For the third wing, Malkorok, you can definitely use it on Malkorok because you're on the boss 100% of the time, so you'll be able to get the maximum damage out of it. For Spoils, obviously you can't because you're rarely ever on the same target. There's so many different ads, so you cannot on Spoils. And for Thok, you'll be on Thok most of the time, but as a melee, you have to steer clear of him, so you won't be able to keep it up with Festering Strike, so I wouldn't use it on Thok if I was you. Now for the last three fights, I wouldn't recommend using Festerblight because there's a lot of things you have to worry about, and the normal rotation will probably do a little more damage than Festerblight. Now what has happened to Festerblight in 5.4? Well, it's been wounded severely, and the normal rotation will actually do more damage than a pure Festerblight rotation now, but you haven't watched the last 5 minutes of video for nothing, that's for sure, because Festerblight combined with the normal rotation of Unholy will increase your damage. Now, you want to be getting your diseases up when you have the maximum strength from your trinkets. This is the main reason why they're not good anymore, because the feather trinket was so overpowered with Festerblight because of the amount of strength it gave. but the new trinkets don't give as much strength to make it worth it. But like I was saying, you can combine the two specs, get your diseases up when they're doing the most damage, and just leave them and do the normal rotation of Scourge Strike and only Festering Strike when you need to, and let them drop off and put them up again when you have the most strength again. And you will be seeing more damage out of your Unholy spec if you do that. Just remember that the normal Festerblight rotation will only work on bosses which give you damage buffs and stuff. So unfortunately for this patch so far, the Festerblight on its own will not work. But here's going to be an example of me doing the pure rotation. Okay, so you want to start off with this add-on here. It's called DK Dots. Here it is. There, and it's got no space. This thing here. It's going to tell you when you can reapply your diseases. Second of all, you want to make sure with trinkets such as the feather here that you don't reapply them every second. It keeps stacking strength, so it will be telling you to reapply them every second if you apply early. So just apply when you know you have the maximum strength, and don't risk it if it says you've got 3 more strength or something, because it might drop off in that second and you will lose all your DPS from that fight. So I'm going to start off just by using Plague Strike here and Horn of Winter, just getting off with your normal rotation. And as you can see here, it says I can reapply my diseases, and that's why I've left Outbreak, so I can reapply them at the right time. And you can see my feather stacks are at 10, and they just dropped off, so I missed a great opportunity there. And now I'm getting more stacks because another trinket is procced here. You want to make sure you're reapplying them when you've got the most procs, and I've got Unholy Strength there, so it's worth a reapply there. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm lagging quite a bit, unfortunately. And I don't know why I'm lagging, I've got no latency issues. But as you can see, reapplied there, and now it's gone red. Never reapply when it's gone red, and never reapply when it's gone yellow. You'll be doing either the same or worse damage, depending on the number. If it's below 100, you'll be doing worse damage. If it's above 100, you'll be doing the same damage. And all my strength things are wearing off now, so I want to keep this up. You want to pop some cooldowns as well. And keep using that Festering Strike to get up. As you can see, 48. It tells you that on this add-on as well how long you've got left. And remember, if the boss is about to die in, say, 42 seconds, I would switch to my normal rotation here, doing this. And you can see the dots are hitting pretty hard at the moment, and if it's not, obviously you just want to keep the rotation. Soul Reaper still comes into your rotation. It's very hard, but obviously if your diseases are close to dropping, you want to leave it out instead. And that's pretty much it for the Festerblight rotation. You just follow the normal rotation rules when you're not using it, and that's about it really. So thank you everyone for watching this guide. I hope it helped. It's a shame that Festerblight isn't so usable in this patch, but obviously it can be combined like I've said before. Hopefully in the future we'll be using this spec again, because it is very fun to get up when you have the maximum strength. Thanks all for watching again, and I'll see you soon.